What's going on, friends? Welcome back to another New World video. Today we're going to be watching Eye on Aeternum. This is a new series from Amazon Game Studios. It's the same like the Forged in Aeternum, where basically on the New World channel devs sit down in front of the camera and talk about various aspects of New World. I believe with this one they're going to be talking about the current state of the game. It also says down here she discusses exciting new content coming in April. So I guess this is season 5, which we already have. This series is also going to give us game updates, to video series, interviews with the team, ensuring you stay informed about everything in New World. So yeah, let's see what this looks like, the Eye on Aeternum. Also, YouTube, I'll link it in the description down below. Twitch chat, I'll link the video after we're done watching. Let's try 720p. Let's get wild.
Hello everybody and welcome to Eye on Aeternum, a new type of video here on the channel.
Well, sorry, we haven't seen Layla, aka CM Lydia, community manager. It's kind of weird that you would have a community manager who has Lydia been on a video before? I'd imagine community managers would be always, anyway.
A new type of video here on the channel where we talk about everything you have to look forward to this month in New World.
Okay.
Today we're going to talk about what's coming to the game in April.
Yeah.
What's coming here to the video channel as well in April. And we're going to put game director Scot in the hot seat to talk about your feedback.
Grill him, yeah.
So you may be wondering, who's
Is that happening today?
on my screen? You know me better as Lydia in Discord, but I'm Leela, your New World community manager. And I'm really excited to be stepping in front of the camera today, whereas most of my work is behind the scenes. A little bit about...
Thank you, by the way, Bucketface. Also, that's kind of wild. I don't know. Of all the people that have positions at New World, the community manager is the front-facing social aspect of the game. So Lydia should be doing the patch notes videos and stuff, in my opinion. Not as like an attack on her or anything, but I think Amazon should be, the community manager should be managing the community, aka talking to them in a video.
About me. I've joined the team recently and I've been really enjoying playing the game.
Okay, it's recent.
My main play style is to use Fire Staff and Ice Gauntlet, which I know might be a little OP, but that's enough about me. Let's talk about what's happening in game.
Oh, the drama, dude.
So let's get started. What do we have to look forward to in game in April? The first thing is actually tomorrow, April 2nd, with the Season 5 Season of the Guardian update coming to the game.
It's today.
We know it's been a bit delayed and we thank you for waiting patiently. We're really excited to finally bring this update to the game. Now let me refresh your memory about everything that's coming in this update. First, we have the Renter Runeforge Seasonal Trial. This is a trial for 10 players. I'm really looking forward to playing it myself. In addition to that, we have cooking updates that we've talked about here on the channel, 8 artifacts, which I'm really looking forward to getting for myself. We have native controller support, which I know some of our players in Discord have been looking forward to as well. In addition to that, we have mounts being able to be used in OPR, as well as the thing I'm most looking forward to, the final edition of the main story quest update. I'm really looking forward to taking a brand new character all the way through this new main story quest.
We're gonna do that,
we
chat.
have the Springtide Bloom event returning to the game.
Here we go.
Between April 17th and 30th. To participate in the event, you can...
April 17th to 30th, so that's like 2 weeks from now? Yeah, it's like 2 weeks from now, okay.
Visit various centerpieces and party bags throughout the settlements in the game, and you can earn lots of different types of rewards, like dyes, event food, event currency to spend for more rewards, diamond gypsum, and 700 gear score patterns. I'm really looking forward to getting the new bop dance emote. Just to spoil it a little bit, it goes like this. And coming to the channel for Forged in Aeternum this month, we're cooking up something really fun for next week on April 8th. We're going to be answering all of your cooking questions about the trade skill update, as well as finding out who is Aeternum's next cooking star. In addition to that, this month, we have Balance of Power coming to the channel to talk a little bit about weapon balance, as well as an economy update. So look forward to those. So one of the things I do as your community manager is read your comments, feedback, and concerns about the game every day.
Yeah, there's
This
a lot
is
of
in our
those.
Discord
Me too.
channels, Reddit, X, and everywhere you might talk about New World.
Twitch chat.
In those places, I see a lot of hot topics come up. So what I want to do today
Why is the
is
game
put
dead?
game director Scott Lane in the hot seat to answer that feedback and talk about your concerns for the game.
Okay.
So let's dive in. Hi, everybody.
So, positive chat? She's good at talking to camera. Like, I definitely think she should be doing the patch notes going forward. Like, she's better at talking to the camera. It's like a slower but more deliberate way of talking. It's good. Okay, here we go.
Everybody, and
However, most of the stuff was things that we already knew. I don't know why they delayed the video until today. Like, so far, I don't see any reason why they would have delayed the video. Like, this video could have came out yesterday. Let's find out.
welcome to the hot seat. I'm here with Scott Lane, game director,
There
to
he
talk
is.
about all of your top feedback and concerns. Okay, one things that I see a lot in our player community spaces like Discord and Reddit is talking about having to wait till June to hear more about what's coming for the future of the game.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little more insight into the reason why we have to wait?
I can, but first I want to say thank you for taking the time to talk with me. It's really fun. I'm excited to get to know you
Get to the
better and
flipping
have
question,
just
Scott.
a tighter tie-in with the community team. So why is June important? A few reasons. One, it allows us to create a moment because we are planning to announce something pretty big that's going to impact a lot of the players, both old and new. But also, there's this thing called Summer Game Fest that happens in June, and it's a place that we can hit a broad audience with the announcement. It allows us to have a little more impact.
I told you.
And it just makes most sense from the game side to do it that way.
They're announcing at Summer Games Fest. Marketing has locked in a budget. They've said, hey, we got all this material that's going out at the Summer Games Fest. It's on the 7th of June, and we need to announce it then. And if you announce it before then, Scott, we're going to chop off your bollocks. I'm telling you, dude, that's what happened. Marketing, Scott Lane's boss has told him that he's not allowed to say anything, and they have to wait until June to announce it. And Scott wants to tell us, but he can't. He literally can't. It's like he's not allowed to. Which I know you guys are like, oh, Baggins, you're an Amazon sympathizer, but I'm telling you, that's what's happened. The marketing has decided that they're not allowed to say until June. It's still bullshit. It still feels awful for the player base that we have to wait so long. But they effectively don't have a choice because somebody's made the decision for them.
I did want to comment because when I talked about this last time, June, people interpreted that it was being pushed down on me or the game team to do June. This was a group decision. Like we all thought June was the best for the game. So this was like when I say it kills me that I can't talk about stuff, it's not that I'm being told not to. It's that it makes the most sense not to for the game right now. So
Oh, now you've taken my. Damn it, Scott. That's what I said. You were the opposite of that. Well, if he does have the power to talk about it, then say whatever.
We just understand being impatient. I'm a very impatient person myself, so.
yeah, it's really hard. And I just I'm really excited about all this stuff and I'd love to share it. And I am fully aware people are sick of hearing that, so I'm not going to say that stuff anymore.
Okay. Okay. So next up, one of the other topics I see players talk about a lot is player server populations. So they're being reduced. We have merged some servers, but players are concerned about overall population in the game. What can we say about that, and what are our plans to improve?
I think, it's a fair thing to be concerned about. Like pops are coming down and it's, we haven't been as communicative as we have, and that's going to make players, be a little less interested in what's going on. What we're banking on is that what we come out with June and then some of the stuff that comes out later this year is impactful enough that excites the players and brings some back and brings in a lot of new players.
There you go. So effectively, the current state of the game isn't too important because they're banking, as he says. They're basically anticipating the future being better and the current state of the game being crap.
Yeah.
So I understand the concerns. I share the concerns, and I'm a player, so I'm in those worlds, and you can feel it. Also worth noting when people say there's only X amount of players playing, they're kind of attributing the amount of people playing in one moment to how many are playing in an entire day or an entire week or an entire month. And I don't think that's a fair attribution.
Right.
But I think it is fair to say that the numbers have been going down. And again, pretty confident that what we're going to be talking about in June and later, the stuff later this year is going to turn that around.
Another thing that comes up often is that our responses about PvE versus PvP in the game is that we often say more players participate in PvE in the game than PvP. So despite that being the fact, a lot of our PvP players are our most dedicated players. They play a lot of hours, they care a lot about the game, they talk a lot to us.
Yeah.
So how do we sort of prioritize their needs even as a smaller portion of the population?
Good
No matter
question.
what we say, it's never going to be enough, and I agree with that as a player because they're always going to want more and more. I think, you know, I've touched on this. A huge part of the announcement is going to be a new PvP thing. Can't really say what it is.
It's
I
not
think
an
we've
Outpost
also
Rush map, though.
demonstrated, you know, with the cross-world stuff we've been doing for PvP modes, the stuff that's coming with arenas, that we care deeply about PvP. The influence races, we're supporting it. But in truth, there's, you know, it's 5-to-1 players that focus on PvE versus PvP. And so
5 to
we
1.
have to have a majority of our investment there. But we still care deeply about PvP, and I think PvP has a lot of the legs that are back there, and the players that are really passionate about the game.
Yeah, definitely. I see that.
I wonder how did they determine what is a PvE player and what is a PvP player? Because they say that's 5 to 1. Like, how do you determine somebody who, like, is it anybody who like the amount of content that you engage in? So if you do more mutated expeditions than Outpost Rush, are you a PvE player? Like, it'd be interesting to see what makes that metric. Like, how are there 5 PvE players to every PvP player?
A lot is that our PvP players are really knowledgeable about the game, are really passionate, they participate a lot, and I'm really glad to have them in our communities. So definitely, I hope they do have something to look forward to, and we can tell you
They
about
absolutely
it.
do. And it's worth noting that, you know, when you go through the feedback from the PvP players, it's really good, it's really in depth. Very hard to find alignment, and you see that internally. So we don't want to just go, oh, someone wants this or someone wants this. We're trying to really understand what changes we need to make. That's why, like, when influencer races came out, we put a lot of thought and time behind it before we rolled it out to make sure that it had the best chance of success.
And sort of going off that discussion, one thing that comes up a lot as the biggest request, I would say, from our PvP players is about an OPR map.
Yeah.
Can you say anything about how we decide whether or not to prioritize that sort of feature request?
So this is probably not going to make everyone happy, but I don't think people just want an OPR map. I think people say, I want an OPR map, but I think they want another mode, and I think they want a lot more than a map. And it's really easy to condense a request. Oh no, just give me a map. If we just gave them a map, I don't think that would satiate what they're really looking for. It's not going to hit the need.
Right.
I think because it's been so long, because it has been so long that we've been waiting for it, maybe there's some truth to that, because it's been like, yeah, if they did finally add a map and it was like disappointing, because it's been like 2 and a bit years. But if they just did this like a year ago, I don't know though. I mean, why not just try? Like, why not just give it a go and see?
Rather try to figure out like what's really going to satisfy them. And you know what? Sometimes that takes longer.
Yeah.
But it's worth it, because, you know, I could put little band-aids on things, and that's not going to work long term for the players. They want, in my opinion, when I dig deep in the players I talk to, they don't want us to rearrange the map. They want a different mode.
Well,
And
there
I
you
think
go,
that's
chat.
just something that I see a lot as a community manager when players are giving feedback. I think it's really helpful and important to really talk about like the problem that you want to solve, or like what are you actually feeling about the game or the problem, rather than specifically focusing on one solution, because that's certainly one solution, but it's not the only solution, right? To giving our PvP players.
Yeah, of all the PvP players asking for a new OPR map, maybe 10 or maybe even 20% of them really do just want a rearranged map. But I don't think that's gonna, you may want that, but then when you start playing, I don't think that's gonna give it the legs that they're hoping for. I think what they want is, like I said, I think they want you to change game.
They want a game mode, right? Here's what you really want, PvP players. So what we want to do for the PvP players is we're going to have this game mode where there's flowers, and you have to pick the flowers, but every like other flower is like an evil flower, and if you pick it, it does damage to you. So it's mainly about picking the flowers, and occasionally there's somebody else there, and you might fight them. But it's I'm just being, I don't know, chat. I'm just talking stupid stuff. Imagine though. A new PvP game mode does sound pretty good. I hope it's gonna be... The thing is, like, I think Outpost Rush is decent, and 3v3 Arena is good, and they definitely could do more with that. And I'm worried that it's more of like Amazon, like, hey, we've got this thing in the game, But rather than work with it and expand it, we're just gonna forget it and add a new thing. Like, it is a classic AGS where they just like, rather than take their existing content, they just like keep slapping new stuff on top of it. So, and I do like new content, to be clear. I do very much like having new content, but I do, you know, I do worry sometimes that it's like if they keep just more and more and more, as opposed to just like taking the existing content, refine it, add more to it, add a variety. Why don't they work on both? I mean, that's a good question, Notorious. True. All right, let's see. We got like 5 minutes left.
Gameplay somehow,
Right.
and make it interesting in a different way.
Yeah. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is how we consider player feedback in our decision making. So what do we do whenever feedback seems to go against popular opinion or our development plans?
Let's start with the popular opinion, because it's a real tricky part of it, because when you look at one place for your feedback, it seems like that's popular opinion. You have to realize that is, you know, 1% of the overall player base, and even smaller of the potential player base. So while it sounds really loud, if you just follow that signal every single time, you're going to make a game for a very specific group of people, and it's going to be a smaller audience that is going to be, you know, able to keep you, to allow you to support the game. Now, don't mix that up with it's not important, because those folks are really important to us. We just can't like follow everything they're asking for. So we need to understand, you know, from there it goes back to the last one, which is, why do they want this? What are the goals they're looking for? How can we achieve those? How can we fit those in with other things we're doing? And we start to look at, it's a simple ROI, return on investment.
Yeah, like, what do the console players want? Because they haven't bought the game yet and will make a lot of money. And the PC player base, those scrubs who want a new Outpost Rush map, well, they've already bought the game. So unless they won't pay for an Outpost Rush map because they hate us. So we're just gonna focus on console players.
How much?
They posted a referral code for an Xbox controller. I mean, come on, chat. The writing's on the wall, right? Hold on, could I take a look at this real quick? Where is it? Just for those of you who are doubting, like, is Amazon really focusing on console and getting the game ready for console? Look at this, dude. Season of the Guardian controller sale. Celebrate the release of the native controller support with 30% off for the Xbox Gold Shadow controller. Like, come on, man. Come on, dude. May as well just announce that you're bringing the game to flipping Xbox right now. It's going to be on the Game Pass. I mean, it seems very, very obvious, chat. I really don't know how you could doubt that there is going to be a console release for New World, and that's what they're gearing up for. I really don't know how you can doubt it. It's so incredibly obvious. And that's what's going to be announced in June. I mean, hopefully some other stuff as well, but I mean, that just seems like there's just not a secret at all. All right, let's go. That's on newworld.com, by the way, if you are interested, and YouTube. I guess I'll put it in the description down below as well.
How much can we invest here versus here? We segment all the players, so we're tracking. Okay, we've taken care of this group, we've taken care of this group, we've taken care of this group, and we try to circle around. And as every place I've ever worked, we have finite resources. We don't have infinite resources. So you've got to like look at all of that. You've got to, talk to the players, not just the ones in one area, but in other areas. I think Scott mentioned this in the last Q&A, Scott, our engineer. We do a lot of lapsed player surveys. And
I thought Scott was referring to himself in like third person for a second there. I was like, that's a bit weird. Hold on.
Scott mentioned this in the last Q&A, Scott, our engineer. We do a lot of lapsed player surveys, and we get a lot of really good directional guidance on that and understanding. We all play the game, much to the surprise of some of the people. we play the game a whole lot. And we use all of that together to try to, do what we think is best for the game. We also have some insight that the players don't have on longer term plans and the reasons, things that are coming in the future. So we look at features that are going to, from a vision standpoint, fit in to our longer term goals and where we're taking things. Hope that, it's a super complex answer, and it's like...
The biggest problem with that is we don't know that long-term future plan thing, though. And I get maybe they can't share it because of marketing or because it's like a gear score increase and it's going to make everybody feel like that current gear is pointless. But without knowing that, we just focus on New World as it is right now, which, yeah, it's not great.
unfortunately, I probably left out half of it because it's just there's so much that goes into the decision making. You know, and there's a lot of people involved.
Yeah. One thing I like to say to players is that feedback is important, but it's really one piece of a bigger puzzle. So whether it be resources, overall goals for the game, different aspects. So it's definitely important, but it is a piece of a bigger picture. So I think it's important to keep that in mind.
Yeah, no, for sure. It all matters, and it all kind of goes into your brain and helps form the opinion. But at the end of the day, I have to make decisions that I think are, you know, best for the entire audience.
Right. Okay, so my last question.
Here we go.
Is there anything you wish players better understood about your job?
About my job, no, but I think sometimes when we do these Q&As and talk, things get like misrepresented. For instance, in the last one, I was really sad because we, you know, at some point, I think one of the questions was something along the lines of, you know, are you all fully dedicated to this? And I'm like, we sure are, the dev team really is. And people took that to mean Amazon Grader wasn't, or Mark, like I'm being told. And that's just couldn't be more from the truth. If Amazon wasn't totally, like, they are so behind us, and like I'm so fortunate with where we are. I think when I qualify things like the dev team, it's because I don't want to speak for players. Right. I want to make sure that the perspective is from, like, I don't know what everyone's thinking. I only have evidence of what I think and what the people above me think. And as a player, I know what I think, but I want to make sure that when we're talking about this stuff, it's like there's no conspiracy theory or anything. We all want this to be successful. Definitely. And how we get there, you know, we may not align on with the players, especially like right now, some of the more vocal groups. But I think the direction we're going, I'm really confident in it. I'm excited about it, and again, I just can't wait to share it. And I think the last question answered more about, you know, how we make decisions is about the job, but I guess if I was saying something to the players, like, we want this to be successful for as long as possible. I love this game when I'm not working, which is a lot of hours. I'm usually at home in world playing. And
I mean, I feel like, you know, if Amazon didn't support, I mean, yeah, it makes sense that Amazon are not like trying to actively sabotage the game. They are invested in the success of New World. But if they weren't, you know, if they weren't giving them resources, he wouldn't like say that either. But wouldn't say like, yeah, my boss is terrible, and he doesn't care about you guys, and they're just in it for the money. I mean, he's obviously not going to say that as well. But anyway, let's finish up this video.
I can tell you that a lot of people on our team are like that. It's exciting. We love Aeternum. Like, it's something we really believe in.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here in the hot seat. I hope I didn't drown you with too many questions.
I am so, first off, you're welcome, but I'm really excited for your new show. I think you're going to be swimming in compliments, and you're going to make a massive splash with the players. It's awesome. The one thing I really hope, though, is that you talk to other people on the team, because you don't want to dive in with me anymore.
Is this them hinting? He said last time they were going to hint at what they were adding to the game, right? And now this are the hints. So they're leaking that they're adding swimming. I think that's what they're doing, chat. I think that's what's happening right here. Well, there you go. Swimming is probably being announced in June as well. I mean, they put the thing on the screen as well. Yeah, it's swimming. Sounds like they're adding swimming. It would make sense because they recently just reworked all their animations in the game, right? The animation and combat code probably means that they might be able to add a swimming animation. So there you go, console and swimming. At least that seems to be, that's my takeaway anyway. That's my interpretation of what they're trying to do here, because they did say in the previous video, we're gonna try and find some way that we can share upcoming details with you without directly saying it, and here they are. Where would I swim to? Yeah, I mean, maybe there's gonna be some content to go alongside with swimming as well. We'll see.
I think like seeing more faces will help this group a lot.
And with that, I hope this keeps your hopes for the game afloat. And that brings us to our community question. As your community manager, I want to know, have you ever taken part in an in-game event run by a player? If you have, I want to hear all about it in the comments. If you like these videos and you want to see more Eye on Aeternum and hot seats, please like and subscribe to the channel. And with that, I'll see you in Aeternum.
Well, there you go. that was that, chat. Swimming announced. June is when they basically the answer as to why they're not sharing information is because of June, because of the Summer Game Awards. I mean, he literally said that, you know, June is the Summer Game Awards, and that's when they think would be a good time to announce stuff, which makes sense. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's been ongoing, but obviously console just more and more confirmed. I'm pretty sure they're going to announce the console in June. They were hinting at swimming as well, which goes in with it. So yeah, TLDR, swimming and console announcement at the Summer Game Awards, which is the 7th of June. And anything else? I don't know. I think Lydia's pretty good, honestly, for the role of talking to the camera and stuff. I think her cadence, the way she talks, the questions were solid. I think honestly, like, although the content in the video is still maybe disappointing to the community, I think you should definitely put Lydia in more videos. Get her to do the patch notes. The coupon code doesn't even work. Really? Wait, it says 9 a.m. PT. Oh, that's already happened, right? Well, I mean, are we surprised, chat? It is New World. The coupon code doesn't work. Fantastic. However, I will say, I don't see why they needed to wait and delay that video until today. That video was supposed to come out yesterday. It came out today. I'm not really too upset by it, but I don't really see why they needed to delay that. That seems completely unnecessary, because it kind of just ruined the start of the video where she said that the content's coming today. April 9th, is that when it's happening? Oh, the limited time offer will run until... Oh no, it says until that time. So it should be active now. It's running until then. So yeah, there's you can get this cool gold Xbox controller, chat, to play New World on. Definitely not a hint at, you know, what platform it might be coming to. I wonder if it is just going to be Xbox then, or if they're going to do PlayStation as well. He answered 4 questions, kind of lame in the content. It's probably only for Amazon US. Yeah, it does say Amazon.com, which would imply that it's for the US version. Yeah. I can't believe it. The memes about swimming are over. Again, I think they're memeing about swimming because you would have to... You go back, chat. I'll just briefly talk about this. In this video here, they talked about the idea that they want to share upcoming... stuff that's being worked on for the game. They want to share that with us, but they have to find some like sort of sneaky way to do it. And then I think in this video, this is them sneakily trying to share it with us. So I think they're trying to, you know, tell us that swimming is being added into the game. Yeah. Okay, swimming, console, and June 7th, I think, is the Summer Game Awards. So, well, there we go, chat. We know what we got to work with. Now back to... a very buggy Season 5. Well, it's not very buggy, but I mean, man, this is still a shame. Friends, if you enjoyed this video, as always, make sure you click the like button and subscribe for more New World content. You can find a link to the video that we watched today in the description down below. And if you want to watch more New World and more conversation about the current state of the game, there's also a link to my Twitch in the description down below as well. We're going to be live for a lot of Season 5, many hours a day, checking out the new content, the Winter Runeforge, Mountain Outpost Rush, new artifacts, etc. Yeah, catch you guys all in the next video. Goodbye.